Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Bant Control with Plagon, Lord of the Beach. This card is so flavorful. It is a starfish wizard creature riding on the back of a turtle. Pretty awesome. And it has the text, when Plagon, Lord of the Beach enters, draw a card for each creature you control with toughness greater than its power. It is a 0/3, so it draws a card for itself. But if you use Delighted Halfling to cast it uncounterably, you draw 2 cards. Or what if you also have a Tamio in play? You draw 3 cards, and why not flip Tamio while you're at it? This card gets pretty out of control pretty quickly in terms of converting things like mana dorks into card advantage. And it also has an ability to target another creature. So you can use Nadu, and you can not have to play all the nomads, and you can still target Nadu and get Nadu triggers off of it. So Plagon reads 1 white or 1 blue. Target creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power this turn. So Plagon essentially is attacking as a 3/3 and can make Nadu attack as a 4/4. And of course you can get exalted and stuff like that. It's a pretty good ability, and it costs 1 blue or 1 white, which we have in abundance, which we can use to spam Nadu activations. Not quite as efficient as 0 equip cost on Shuko or the 0 activation ability on Nomad Encore, but quite respectable, and it allows us to just play good cards. And if you know one thing about Be Excellent, I love playing good cards, and I dislike playing bad cards. So Nadu on its own is very reasonable creature to be casting. It's a 3/4 flyer for 1 white, 1 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue. Everybody knows this card. Everybody despises this card, including myself, but it makes sense in this context of the deck. And we're going to basically protect the rest of our squad because nobody wants to plow your creatures when Nadu's out. Then everything becomes an emergency once Nadu's out because you could have a nomad coming. They don't know that we don't have nomads in our deck, so they have to respect Nadu. So because we're rocking the 4 Delighted Halfling, why not bring Teferi to the table? This card is really awesome at just getting rid of whatever we need to get rid of so we can Alpha Strike. And we have the 7 mana dorks. We've got a pretty solid mana base. One of our 2 colors, green and blue. We don't have a plains. I've opted instead to just rely on the combination of Dual Lands and Noble Hierarch to be able to produce mana. Even under Blood Moon, if we have a Noble Hierarch, we can still plow. And there will be situations where we want to bring in Harbinger from the side, and we may just, count, like some of those will be like lands where we don't even need plow, so it's not a big deal, and we just don't play white mana at all, and we cast Teferi off of our mana dorks. But I wanted to have a mana base that's really resilient, and I didn't want to play basic plains. There's a previous video I recorded where I played the basic plains, and it just kept coming up in very awkward situations. This deck is very blue and green heavy, but I do think Wasteland is worth playing when you have this many mana dorks. You want extra colorless sources, so these Wastelands are essentially instead of not playing lands, rather than playing additional colored sources. The other thing to note about the deck is we've got our cheeky One of Days as Force of Will number 5. And we've got the Cantrip Suite. We've got the best removal spell ever printed. The sideboard also includes 2 Force of Negation for combo, 3 Hydroblasts for Moon Stompy, 2 Prismatic Endings. These are just good general cards that we can bring in against like Delver and things like that. And then we've got a Force of Vigor, which is a really cool card that our deck can support since we have so many green cards in it. We've got a Grafdigger's Cage as additional graveyard disruption. We do have the 3 main deck endurances, which help us close and disturb most of legacy decks use their graveyard for stuff, and being able to endurance is really powerful. It's incidentally really good against Doomsday. It's really good against a lot of decks. Delver, Blue-Black Tempo, really good against Reanimator, Oops All Spells. This card is really, really powerful, and I don't think people are playing it as heavily because people just aren't playing green as much as they normally are. So we're going to play a full 5 rounds. As always, these should be fun, interactive matches. We're not just going to Nadu and like people scoop. Some people might scoop, but I think we're going to be grinding a lot more with this more grindy, control-y build. See you in round 1. Right, we're up against a likely lands player. I think this is really good against lands because we have double endurance, which can really slow their roll. Let's keep this. The main thing you want to stop with lands is their loam engine. This is why we were playing 3 Wastelands. This card is just so strong. It's fine. Maze of Ith to the yard. Oh no, are they going to loam? They're going to loam. I'm going to let them have the maze back, but I probably can't let them keep the loam. Let's see what we draw here. Halfling could be extremely awkward if they... Gosh, they got 4 cards left. It's my only blue source, but I think I do ponder and try to find another blue source. Yeah, like the mana dorks are going to be really bad in this matchup. Okay, this is fine. We did find a second blue source. Teferi to bounce one of their constructs is good. I think Tamio is maybe not the greatest. All right, my kids are playing piano very loudly in the other room. I hope that doesn't bother you. Yeah, I think the sequencing is we want all these cards. Hopefully they don't waste us. I am going to have to endurance them. I just have to get rid of that loam. It sucks, but that's just how it is. We'll pitch the Delighted Halfling, I think. Mana Dorks are just bad in case they get Tabernacle, and I don't want to live in that world. So I think what we do is... I mean, we don't want to shuffle any of these away. We've got plenty of other land drops. I'll just put this at the bottom. We'll go like that. All right, getting some MTGO lag. This is probably going to be a very clock-intensive match. I don't know that we're like supremely favored here. Post-4, we do have Harbinger, which is pretty lights out against their deck. Okay, Ponder has resolved. I think I go to their upkeep. That does give them the ability to untap. I don't know if they... I don't think they would have the Cycler. I'm just going to go ahead and do it now. Yeah, I'm just going to be a coward and do it now. And if they have another one that really sucks, but like... That's life. They don't have a lot of card selection in their deck, so hopefully we got rid of the loam engine. But if they can just do that every turn, it's absolutely devastating. Hopefully they just do nothing but create constructs for a couple turns. I can bounce one of them. Oh, Malevolent Rumble, yeah. Well, they did not find another one. They did find Exploration, which may speed things up quite a bit over on their side of the table. Yeah, I mean, the only card they found really is the Grove. It's good to know about Grove. It won't be that impactful against our deck. Like, I'm going to take a bunch of Mana Dorks out post-board. Loves for Boots, okay. So they can use that and they can hit us next turn. Good to know about. I think what we do here is we just Tamio. Yeah, I want to get something going. Okay, we'll see what they're searching for here. They may search for the backside, like a Pithing Needle for the backside, but I think most likely they're just going to grab a Expedition map and try to use that to go get another Urza Saga. That'd be my guess. Expedition map also temporarily makes this bigger. Yep. Depths, okay. So now they can Dark Depths us and attack at instant speed. It's terrifying. Yep. We're going to take 5. Damn. Lava Spur Boots basically means I can't bounce this. This is absolutely devastating. We're going to take a lot of damage. I think they need 2 turns to stage. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think what we do is we just hold up Endurance. I don't really want to ponder. Endurance can time walk and then we can bounce. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I mean, we're still super dead because we're going to take a lot of damage. After they crack this, it's possible that they do walk into the Endurance. So if they go for it immediately, so it's 2 to crack. I think it is at least 2 turns. But I don't want to show them Teferi because Teferi is our answer for the Merit Lage token. They're just coming in. That's fine. And I think I do just play this out. We go to Trop. I realize we could keep this around and potentially wipe out a Life Alone, but I don't think time is on our side here. All right, draw on a basic. I can flip Tamio here, and then that debuffs, and we can potentially block that if they... Yeah. I think it's... We'll see what we get off Tamio. I think I'm going to ponder first. Because if I find a plow, then that obviously solves the Dark Depths issue as well. And if I find a Wasteland, that's even better. Plagon's pretty good. He flips Tamio. It's a blocker. I think we just Plagon here. And then we'll just chump with Endurance. We're going to see this beauty in action right off the bat in the first game. Our opponent's probably reading it. It's got some crazy chaotic art too. I I spent a good amount of time looking at the art trying to understand whether it's Plagon by himself on there. Okay, they're surveilling. That's fine. I don't know what they're thinking about doing here. Dark Depths? Or Crop Rot? Okay. They might phase out one of our creatures, like phase out our Tomio, so that we don't get the... oh, or are they just going to make it now? It's fine if they make it now, as long as they don't also have a way to get through Endurance. Okay, so we draw. Got another Plagon, which is quite good. It's plus, and we're going to pass. We've got a lot of mana in the tank if we survive Dark Depths here. Now they're going to make it. And if they have Sajiri Step or a card like that, they have a Plow. There are a number of things they could have here. But if we block with Endurance, I feel like we do have a decent chance at survival here. We still have to deal with the Giant Construct. I think we just let Tomio die here, sadly. It's a 4/4. Yeah, I don't want to lose. Well, actually, I could just sack this by putting it in front of her, keep Tomio around. Is that worth it? It does debuff subsequent attacks. And we have another one. I think it's fine. It'll be a turn cycle before I can play it. Yeah, I'm going to do this. We already got 3 cards off of them. All right. What else do you have over there? Okay, as long as you don't have a loam. Nadu does combo with Plagon pretty well. Let's go ahead and do the thing we need to do first, which is pay the ward. I think we plus, and we go ahead and play out a Hierarch with the intention of getting a bigger bonus out of Plagon next turn. Our opponent doesn't have a lot going on now. They've got 2 cards in hand. They have to deal with a lot of stuff. They are opting to crack. Let's see what they get. I'll be scared. They're probably just going to get another Urza Saga. Blast Zone. Okay, Blast Zone deals with both this, and then they can cleanly attack this. It also takes out their Lava Spur Boots, though. But now they're kind of under the gun here. I'm going to let them attack Tomio. That is fine. I don't care about Teferi. He did his job. The One Ring. All right. I did not expect that out of lands. That's kind of scary. But at least we're going to be able to minus and get some value out of Tomio here. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that in lands before. Okay. Wasteland takes out the Blast Zone so we can still go upstairs. I think that's the play. If we draw half our deck, we'll still probably be able to win. They're tapped out, so this is a window where we don't have to worry about them doing shenanigans. All right, so now we have enough mana to Nadu and to Plagon. I'm going to plus Nadu, Green, Plagon. I'd love to draw a Force here. All right, we just have to dodge Loam. Daze doesn't do a lot here, but it is something that we can cast. Okay, One Ring. We can now spam activations of Nadu onto. We can spam Plagon on Nadu. They're going to draw 2 cards. They've got 6 cards in their grip. They don't have a lot of mana, and that's the saving grace. Scary things they could do would be play a exploration that would unlock multiple lands per turn. It's worth noting that if they target my creatures, it gives me Nadu triggers. This is going to be a crazy game. Like if they don't end it, okay, there's the exploration. There was no Daze opportunity there. There may be a Daze opportunity in a moment though, because they're not going to expect Daze out of a deck like ours. And that's the power of the squirrely Daze, the cheeky Daze. Grove, by all means, target our stuff. Oh no, did they find Loam? I'll be so disappointed if they find Loam. This card. I don't think we can do anything about any of this. They can tech that up to 3 and really screw us. Okay, and now they're going to come in for a hug, but we're going to block it. Yeah, I got to let Plagon go here. I think Nadu's more valuable because Nadu protects our other stuff. I'd rather draw half my deck than keep Plagon around. Any other spells you'd like to cast? How about a Daze? I would like to draw half my deck, thank you. You're going to be drawing cards off your deck. I want to be drawing off of mine. All right. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Okay, so let's just think about what we have here in our hand first. We have a ton of forces. That's good. We probably have an endurance, which I think we should cast. Let's see. We don't have the endurance. That's unfortunate. Endurance is what I really need to get rid of the loam. I'm kind of tempted to just brainstorm to see if we can find. And then I can shuffle away some of the chaff. Let's do that first. It's crazy to like draw that many cards and then like, oh, well, I didn't find what I wanted. I wanted to brainstorm. Still didn't find it. Plow's not bad. I think I'm going to I can safely put back some of these lands. I'll put it back a fetchable land just in case, because I am going to go ahead and fetch here. I mean, we do have another brainstorm. We could go for it again. It's totally worth it to wipe that from their graveyard. It leaves them with the One Ring going. I'm worried about feeding one drops into this. Oh, I had a Ponder. I didn't see that. Come on, give me endurance. I mean, Plagon's not terrible, but I think we want to find the endurance. We also don't want to draw our entire deck accidentally. Let's see if we got it. We did not. All right. So I think we can just bounce this out of play. And then we could waste the last zone, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play out the Teferi and just bounce, just so I'm not dead. I'm having to think really quickly here, because I know that this is going to be a really long matchup. I think it's better to put out a land that can go fetch a Tundra in case we need to deal with Merit Lage or something, because they do have Lava Spur Boots out. I think that's better than playing out the Wasteland. Technically, Wasteland can protect us. Did I already play my land for turn? I guess I did. Well, technically, I have Plow on that. Yeah, I'm just going to go to combat and I'll attack him for 4 here. And we'll pass. Not the most exciting turn, but the fact that they have this out and they have a lot of stuff out, I want to just take it easy. So we have the ability to force the next few things they do. We can plow our own creature if we need to survive. I could have Plagon so we could get more activations. However, I don't feel like cards are the gate here. I feel like mana's the gate. And specifically, finding Endurance number 3. Wait, we didn't exile 2. So no, it's still in there. Okay, so they've got lots of land here. They're about to go crazy with lands. They're 4 minutes ahead of us on clock, too. I should probably have forced that. That was a misplay. Yeah, and now they do have Dark Depths, so we can plow that. I don't think we're winning this game. It's fine. They're about to gain 20 life, which, yeah, gives them a lot of wiggle room here. Let's go ahead and plow it. Okay. I don't think they're going to bleed out to the One Ring. Yeah, I really feel dumb for not forcing that exploration. That was like something I cleanly could have. I don't think forcing Mox Diamond is correct, but I'm going to force their other business spells. I could just force this Bias a Turn cycle. I think that's fine. I'm going to do that. Pitch my backup Nadu here. It may make sense to go ahead and play out a Hierarch just to up our clock a little bit. They're going to crop rotate. Well, thanks for letting me know you have crop rotate. Card draw for turn. It's just another fetch. I mean, we could potentially tempo them out. Yeah, I just walked right into a crop rotation. Oh, they're not going to crop rotate. Okay. Well, I got lucky there. I think I just play this out. I mean, is there anything else we want to play out before we go to combat? Not really. I do want to see if I can find the Endurance. Okay, I found it. That's great. So just put these back. Let's play it now. I'm trying to just be very quick. If what I'm doing doesn't make a lot of sense or it seems really inefficient or anything like that, that's why. Plus here. Plus here. Let's go ahead and attack. Attack with that. They will eventually find another crop rotation. Next turn, I'll start attacking them with all my creatures and just ignore the, what's it called? They want to start burning stuff they can. It'll result in Nadu triggers. That might actually make sense if they're planning to win through clock. So they draw 4 cards. At will, they can blow up our 3 drops. It does take 2 turns cycles to do that. Tabernacle, Caracas. I don't really want to play this game anymore. I think we have a low likelihood of winning. It may seem like, how can you lose? But like, they have a lot going on over there. and the thing is, like Tabernacle, like suddenly I'm clicking through all the things. It's a clock thing. It's 100% a clock thing. Daze comes out. Force of Vigor absolutely comes in. Force Negation is very good here. Harbingers are very good here. We're just going to try to get clean Harbinger kills on them. I think Plow comes out. It was good there, but it's not going to be good in general. I didn't see any creatures. I didn't see any reclaimers or anything like that. The lookout guy, whatever, the lookout gal, she's really brutal. I didn't see her. I think we go down on mana dorks. Delighted Halfling is not particularly powerful when your opponent's not playing counter magic. So we could just board those out completely. Because, and we board these in. Force Negation in. Force of Vigor got sideboarded out somehow. And then we've got Consigns. I'll bring a couple of those in. Those can be useful. All right, so we've got a clean strategy. Our strategy is get in there, Harbinger, and yeah, I think that's it. And almost nothing in our deck dies to the Punishing Fire if that's a key part of their deck strategy. Yeah, but Tabernacle is like one of my least favorite cards ever printed. Not that I think it's overpowered or anything, but it's just so unfun on MTGO because it like puts tons of triggers and it takes like, I don't know, like 20 seconds each turn cycle. And they were going to just keep, trying to present Merit Lages, and we would have to keep plowing at that point because we didn't have any other answers. We do have Prismatic Ending, which is much better. Yeah, this is a keep. This is the Tamiyo Brainstorm combo. We can even open on a basic, which is always nice against the 4 Wasteland deck. Mulliganing to 6. 5. Endurance is really strong against Loam. Like their deck is all about Loam. Right? Tamiyo's out. Taiga. Exploration is fine. When their hand is that low, I don't worry about it. And they didn't even have a second land they wanted to play. Oh, they do. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Nadu's great. My instinct is to just wait and see what they do. We can crack a clue, get a brainstorm. Not to flip immediately, especially because they could just Punishing Fire her down. If we flip, is that correct? Maybe it makes sense to go ahead and brainstorm. We don't need 2 of these endurances right now, I don't think. Yeah, let's go ahead and flip. We got our clue. Okay, I'm glad we picked up that force. I don't like to put back lands against their deck. I'm going to put back not as a blue card. I'm going to put back one of our endurances. And I'm going to put back this Savannah. And then depending on what they do, we can decide whether we want to just redraw that land. All right. So I think what we do if they loam is they've got no targets currently, but they might have targets. Okay, depths. Okay. So I sense a crop rotation coming on or something like that maybe. Disruptor Flute. They're going to name Force. They're most likely going to name Tamiyo. They have 1 card in hand. I'm going to force it. I want to be getting value out of Tamiyo. All right. They did not do anything to disrupt our mana. I think I can Surveil here. I actually, I want to have double green. I didn't think about this. I think I'm going to get a Trop, and then I'll go fetch the Forest on the second one. Yeah, because I should have switched out when I was updating my deck. I should have switched. Oh, there's the Forest. All right, that works. Do we want to rebuy the Force just to cover our butts? Then we know we can get burned out. I'm gonna chill. And I think we just get ready to Endurance here if we need to. They're probably going to have to do Desperation Burns on her. Let's go do that first. Okay, another Tamiyo that pitches the Force when we draw half our deck. Force of Vigor is great. I don't think we use it here. 2 Nadu or not 2 Nadu. I think we can go ahead and Nadu just to get the clock going. We do have to close the game. I feel firmly in control here. Okay, and they're just basically making us win. I'm just going to go ahead and fetch out of my deck so I don't have to worry about it later. I'll get a Tundra here. I'm going to draw my deck, and I just have to win, which will take a little while. So what we're going to do is we're going to play out things that speed up the clock. Okay, my opponent knows this is going to come out of time and is just forcing me to do it that way, which is totally fine. We did not rip a plow because we don't have plows on our deck. I can play Wasteland next turn, and that will insulate us from a lot of things they can do here. Discard a Forest. The game may not be over. Okay, Life from the Loam here for a Forest is fine. I can just Endurance next turn to clear that. I think we just go to next turn for the sake of time efficiency. I could have Force of Negation that, but I'm just going to Endurance next turn. Go ahead and play her out. Endurance Deer, whatever creature this is. Our opponent is not giving the... Okay. They're not conceding to us. We've got them on a 2-turn clock, though. Okay, they're just passing. Plus, if I got a Wasteland, it'd be worth playing it out. I didn't. I'll just play this out. I'm not going to show them Harbinger. We're just going to attack with these two and pass. And we have pretty much everything they can do covered. I think it's fine. I can still force and do stuff. I have mana. It just shuts off abilities. They turn off Teferi, so maybe they are planning to win through Dark Depths somehow. And I can just force this second time. Trigger first. Whatever. That's the game. Our opponent would like to take up more of our clock. They can make us attack again. Okay. All right. So 6 minutes 38. I think a tactical scoop was important there because we'd be even lower. And I don't think we were winning the game. I know it may seem, how did you lose when you drew your entire deck and all that stuff? But I just felt like they had so much life. Anyway, and it may have been panic. Maybe it wasn't correct to scoop there. Maybe there was a line that I didn't see. Simplest way to win this last one is just to go ahead and jam the. So we'll see whether we get that. Tamio has been good. However, Tamio lines are time intensive. I'm wondering if maybe we do bring in Delightful Halfling as an accelerant or something like that. I don't think so. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. It is anxiety inducing to not have Plow to deal with and have to rely on instant speed or sorcery speed, Prismatic Ending or Teferi. But okay, this is a great hand. If they don't win quickly, we'll Harbinger. We have to be cognizant of the fact that they can burn us out. But the fact that we have our basics, like they're going to have an explosive start here. Stage. Okay. That's okay. Mox Diamond. That's an explosive start. Okay. But no Loam to follow up. Okay. Backup Harbinger. That feels good. I'm going to Surveil here, I think. Am I going to do that? I mean, it does run the risk of slowing us down, but I do want to, get good card selection. We're just going to try to Harbinger 2 turns in a row. Blast Zone. Okay. So this is not Wasteland. I'm going to go ahead and Surveil. I am risking setting back our plans by 1 turn if this gets wasted. That's a great rip. I think we just go ahead and lead with, and we already have the forest in our hand, and we have barely any white in our deck. So I don't think it's going to be an issue to be able to win just through repeated Harbinger attacks, assuming that nothing dramatic happens here. I think I'm going to force this because they could just name Harbinger here. Okay, Loam. Malevolent Rumble. That's a good one. Lava's Boost, One Ring, Taiga, Punishing Fire. Okay, so they found Punishing Fire, but they put the Punishing Fire in the yard. Do they have the land that gains life? They chose One Ring. One Ring is not going to save them if my Harbinger resolves. All right, I can't be cocky here. There are lots of outs in their deck. Harbinger comes down. They can crop rotate here, get Dark Depths, but it'll come in with the counters on it. They don't have the mana to Thespian Stage copy anything. Wait, they do because of the spawn. So they could Thespian Stage copy, and then they have a stage that can copy other lands, even under the Harbinger because of how the layer system works. Okay, this is a crop rotation. Let's see what they get. It could be Dark Depths. Oh, it's Grove. Okay. They're going to buy it back, and they're going to fire it. That's really unfortunate. They don't actually have, they have read off the Mox Diamond. So they'll be able to do this. We can do it again next turn, but they'll probably be able to figure out a way to get it back into hand. Dark Depths. So there's their Dark Depths that creates the monster. So I think we've lost. They figured out a way through. Yeah. They're playing One Ring. Well, that's greedy. That's very greedy. I'm going to just stick the second Harbinger. They can kill one, but they'll need to figure out a way to get the other one back. I mean, they can eventually just draw into... They only have one red source. They'll eventually draw into Mox Diamond. They'll get out that way. I'm going to be hitting them for 2 each turn because realistically they are going to kill one of these. Okay, there's the second Mox Diamond. So they need a second way to Punishing Fire this. Nadu. Nadu's coming out. I'm not waiting. You can Punishing Fire me before combat if you'd like. Let's go ahead and come in. Just going to let me hit them? Don't they have Punishing Fire in their hand? What the heck is going on? Right? That doesn't make any sense to me, what they're doing here. They need to kill both of these so they get their free Dark Depths Sky. They have red mana. They've got lots of groves now. But again, they have to kill both of these to unlock their mana. So if they find the second Punishing Fire, assuming they're playing 2, usually you play 2 or 3 if you're going to bother with the Punishing Fire package. 4 mana. Is this a new ring? Yeah, sure. You can dirtle all you want. They may just be trying to stay alive because I've only got 4 minutes on my clock. But yeah, it's okay. I'm going to try to start interacting with these Moxen maybe. Pithing Needle is fine. I don't know what it's going to name. Probably Teferi. They have a lot of time on their clock. Maybe they're just toying with me here. Okay, Tamio's fine. I am going to... It doesn't really matter. I'm going to play out the Plagon. Get a card. Oh, I should have played it very first. That was a punt. Well, I will play her out. And I will go ahead and come in for a hug. It doesn't matter because they've got a 1 ring. Yeah, I'm going to... Okay, Consign is a great card. Unfortunately, the 1 land that I didn't tap is the land that casts it. I'll go back like this. Wait, did we already draw the cards? Okay, well, that was a bad play. Okay. So they're drawing a whole bunch of cards. They're like super dead on board, basically. Yeah, my tapping is super duper unfortunate. Still not sure why they're doing what they're doing. Oh, they can sack this to the legend rule, and then they can have a 20/20, I think. Because it doesn't have counters, so they can... Is that how it works? Do they get a 20/20 here if they play a second Dark Depths? Otawara. Okay, they can Otawara 1, and they can hit the other one, and then they get their 20/20. We know we're not going to get lands. We're just going to get regular triggers here, unfortunately. All right, so we get a card. Oh, wait, we do get a land, but it's unfortunately like the 1 land that I can't use for... Oh, wait, it's blue. Okay. Okay. Otawara is going to bounce the other one. They are going to get the token. We have enough creatures that we can block for a while, but they may have a way to gain life. 4 mana in the pool. This is the Otawara. Bounce the other one. That's fine. I can't interact with that. I'm going to float a blue, just in case. They get their giant dude. We just need to keep blockers in front. They have Sajiri Step that can stop it that way. They're going to bleed out to this 1 ring pretty quickly, but they can just replace it if they don't have the mana to do that now. Them getting these Mox Diamonds was really clutch. Yeah, we're going to replay this Harbinger. Okay, Force is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replay the Harbinger. I think that needs to happen. That blue Harbinger. Now we have Force to Protect. And I think we just have to chill. And we can spam activations. Yeah, because I'm not going to attack into that. I'm going to block it with the Tamio. And then I can block again with the Tamio and attack back. Okay, they're drawing a bunch of cards. Now, any sort of fetch or any sort of self-damage inflicted. Sajiri Step doesn't do anything because they don't actually have... It's not a land. Like, it's an island. If they do anything, I can just spam activations here. Let's see, they're getting back Otawara. If I just force this, I don't think we have to worry. I could spam and maybe find... Yeah, let's spam. Okay. That's another blue card we could potentially... We want to go 1 more. If we go off Consign, if we go 1 more... I think I'm just going to force this and keep up Consign. Pitch back up Nadu. Because we have Tamio, which is more efficient to cast than another Exploration. Using their precious colored mana for something like Exploration is interesting. Wonder what they could have. Tabernacle doesn't do anything, thankfully. It would absorb the heck out of my clock if they were able to remove my creature. Okay, they're just not attacking. I think we just attack in and then they die. Let's go ahead and do 1 more activation here on Hierarch. We'll go to my turn. All right. Might as well play a land out just in case we need to spam a bunch of activations. But I think what we do is we just attack with these 2. My opponent left some comments. I'm going to go ahead and finish the game. As customer, I always try to finish the game first just to make sure I don't run out of time like responding to them. Oh, Endurance is great. That's another blocker. All right. And the game is over. 57 seconds on the clock. Attempting to crop rotate. I don't think that matters. Do? Okay. Yeah, they scoop. And I'll just say GG's. Game 1 was crazy. It was super crazy. Like my brain just couldn't comprehend everything. But I mean, you saw the synergy, like just slow Nadu, Hashtag slow Nadu. Coming back, Tradnod. Tradnod. I don't know what I'm talking about. See you in round 2. Round 2, we're up against a filthy, degenerate combo player. Most commonly seen on Reanimator, Oops All Spells, sometimes blue-black Reanimator, sometimes non-blue Reanimator. Wish them luck. This is the Grim Lavamancer, not just any Grim Lavamancer. It's a great classic card that a lot of you kids may not have even heard of. I hate to throw back this hand, but you can't. I mean, if we had a green card, we could just keep it. We've got a good hand. Endurance answers a lot. We could hit it's a resilient hand. Let's take a look. Pretty sure they were, let's see, these were a few days ago. They were on Demir Reanimator with the main Baragoyfs, Gristlebrand as the third monster. They are playing Daze. They're not playing Force. So, oh yeah, they are playing Force. Tainted Indulgence, that card's terrible. I guess it makes sense in this context, but it's such a terrible card. Yeah, this is pretty scary. I mean, this is the best deck in the format. I guess I'm going to keep. No, on the on the draw. What if they are on like an even more degenerate deck? All right, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to put back the Plow. No, I'll put back a land. So turn 1, we're going to drop a halfling, and our opponent will probably get like the immediate Nadu vibes. Plow is useful in case they have a fair creature like a Baragoyf or something. Opponent may have stepped away since I was taking so long to deliberate on whether to keep. All right, Flooded Strand from the opponent, and we're going to our turn. As much as I want to jam this halfling, if they entomb, I need to be able to pay for days. Yep. If they force back, we can go into desperation mode. We do have a Plow, which is not nothing. Plow can answer a lot of their threats, but if they go with something like Gristlebrand, then Plow is pretty blank. Atraxa obviously is not very good against Atraxa, but it does get Atraxa out of the way. This is really best against Archon. Okay, so they surveil here. I'm going to go ahead and surveil just to get the card out of the way. They junked a Enemy Dead. Let's see if we can find, the Starfish. I mean, this is above average. We might be able to catch them. They're probably not going to expect it out of a Delighted Halfling deck. They haven't troll cycled or anything, so they may be out of mana. So we'll get our Halfling on the table. We can play another one next turn. They didn't interact with that. Probably looking for a fetch here or a troll. The fact that they dumped an Animate Dead tells me they have another a reanimation effect in their hand. They're looking at 8 cards currently. We're in Scary Town. They probably think I'm on Nadu, which I am, but I'm not on traditional Nadu. And so I think this Daze is really strong here. I want to wait till the right moment. They have the land. Okay, they're fetching. Ponder. Okay. As far as they can tell, they're dead next turn to Nadu and Nomad combo. And as a combo player, maybe they're more like, tunnel vision on, okay, is my opponent about to go off? Like, I never think about that from that respect. Like, I'm always just thinking about, like, okay, how do I survive? But they may be thinking, like, oh, I need a combo before them. And that's where Daze may come in handy. But Daze's welcome is wearing off. We don't have a land drop, so there's little cost to dazing here if they try to do something. Okay. They are respecting Daze, or they just don't have anything to do. All right, I think the first play is to ponder here. We don't have any 2-drops, though. We could find a Wasteland. And that wouldn't be the worst. I probably want to deploy the other halfling. Well, they could have Daze. Maybe I don't want to deploy that. No, if I don't attack, yeah, I'm just going to ponder here. Going off of Plow. But I don't think Plow is going to immediately be useful. I think, okay, Force is not the worst. Brainstorm's actually fine. Brainstorm's really good, actually, because it fixes our hand. And so what we can do, we could go ahead and Brainstorm and just shuffle. The second Delighted Halfling is not nearly as beneficial as the first. We can wait a turn knowing that we have Force and Daze backup in case they make a big move. Control cycle. I hope they just reanimate the troll. See whether they are likely to be playing Bowmaster in their list. I don't see any Bowmasters. Here is Reanimate on Troll, which is fine. All right, so we're just going to draw, and then we'll plow. I think it makes sense to go ahead, plow first, and see what happens. They would have to have triple days to stop this. And force, I can... Okay, that was clean. Now I'm going to go ahead and go for the Brainstorm here. Okay. Plagon's pretty damn good. Tamio's also fine. I think we can put Plagon on the top, and then we can put the Misty out, and then we could play the Tamio. No, I need to play the Misty out. I want all of these cards. I could just wait with Force Up. I'm going to be really disappointed if I have to force pitch Plagon because I played it wrong. Yeah, I'll just do that. Then I'm going to play this out. Then I'm going to go ahead and play out a Tamio. She can't be countered. And we'll pass. So they won't likely daze back if we force, but we cannot crack this because Plagon is absolutely essential to us being able to win. So they're going to Thoughtseize us, which is fine. And then hopefully they don't combo out from here. They did already use one of the reanimation effects. They took the daze, which is good because we'll have force blue card for the next thing they do. Beargoyf is fine. I'm not actually worried about that at all. And I'll tell you why. Because we're going to try to draw a plow here. Okay, so one of the top cards is just another Delighted Halfling. So I'm going to first go to combat and create a clue. Now we're going to go blue. Do we want that halfling? I don't want it. It is a chump. We could draw we're going to draw 3 cards here. So we could get land we could get plow. I will go ahead and get just have perfect mana. Why not? We'll just go boom, boom. We could rip a chump blocker here. Green. Let's do blue. Yeah, I think it's more likely that we rip a chump blocker than we rip... Because I do need to stop this. I'll stop this with Plagon. But we need to protect Tamio. Cha-ching. Double endurance. Very cool. Very legal. Plus this. I definitely don't want to use these endurances now. I think we just chump with Plagon. And then next turn, we enter Endurance Town population us. And just keep... we can endurance them, then we can endurance ourselves, and Beargoyf becomes comical. My son has started playing piano. Original composition. He loves playing this song. You're going to hear it chop up a little bit because my auto editing software is going to, cut out the music whenever I'm not playing. Okay, so Beargoyf. We knew Beargoyf could happen. Opponent may be getting lagged. This seems like a weird place to be thinking. Uh-oh. So... this isn't actually going to kill. I don't think. So we could let that happen. Unless they have something they're about to do. So they hit Tamio for 3? Or they're hitting Tamio for 3. Okay, that seems like a bad play, frankly. Because it didn't really impact the board any. Another brainstorming, which is fine. The nice thing about not playing Orcish Bowmaster is you don't have to labor over whether you should cast your Bowmaster into your opponent's brainstorms. Or wait for their Bowmasters. There's the Wasteland. It's fine. All right, so let's untap. We do need land. A plus here. So I could just play Plague and draw another 2 cards. One of which might be a land. I think that's fine. And then we can jump with them again. Delighted Halfling is so good. All right. There we go. Yeah, let's just play this out. And... we can chill and chump, and then we can just keep casting these every turn and drawing 2 cards. I would like to endurance if my opponent will allow me. They're reanimating our Plagon. That does draw them some cards. Draws them 2 cards. I kind of want to force that. I don't want to pitch endurance because endurance is going to be really good. Yeah, I think I'm down to force this because we're going to be drawing lots of cards, and they're running low. So we'll draw. Wasteland's not the best. I think I'm just going to start by endurancing them. I do need to make sure my endurance resolves. They have this potential attacker as well. Yeah, I think I'll just let them go ahead and play this out. And then I'll play an endurance. There is the risk that they could... I think I'm just going to do it now. Just hit their yard. It slightly decreases Beargoyf's size, but Tamio should be able to survive a whack if they attack with both. 4/5. Okay. And now my next Plagon is going to be huge. They don't have any... They have a bunch of clutter back in their deck. Another Reanimate on Plagon. This resolves. They get 2 cards. They've got 4 cards in hand. I could have definitely waited on the endurance. Yeah, if I had waited, they may not have expected endurance. Just attacking with that. I think it's fine. I'll just let her take it. They're going to Swamp Cycle. This further increases the size. Okay. They may be able to get her. They can also pay 1 to deal with toughness instead of power. They didn't do that. I guess they forgot, or they didn't realize they could do that, but I think that would have been the play. Okay. We're going to untap. Upkeep. I think first things first, we just plow this. See if that works. See whether that works. Actually, you know what? We have the mana. I'm going to go ahead and play again first. Just to draw some cards. So in case we draw into counter magic. So we'll draw 3 cards. This card is so good, by the way. I think I've said that every time I cast it. It always feels good to cast it. Draw 3 cards. So good our opponents are at reanimating it. All right, let's go ahead and just plow here. Just get it off the table. We can endurance, instant speed if we need to. This is definitely a force if they have one. There's the force. Okay. I think we just plus here. We don't have enough mana to endurance. So I think we're just going to chill. I think we're going to let Tamio take another swing. If Plagon does attack, I can always use Plagon's ability to, Plagon this. Next turn, we can start going crazy with Nadu. And I think the game will be over functionally. But there is the threat of them reanimating a troll and us not being able to minus Tamio. And if we can't minus Tamio, we can't buy back the plow to get rid of this Beargoyf. I'm tempted to just throw this in front of it so I can ensure that we kill it next turn. What is this toughness? 5? And I think I was just going to keep it in... Oh, they're attacking me? If that's the case, I do think it's correct to block. Okay, I'm going to crack a clue. This is a very click-intensive deck, and it's about to get more so. Okay. Land for turn. Minus. Let's grab a plow here. Okay, I'm just going to plow. Beargoyf has been a total pain. Won't miss you. Oh, they do have a force? They do. They're opting to... Okay, so now they're hellbent, and what I can do is I can go ahead and just... I'm going to go green. Green... What? Play Nadu. I'll use this mana, I guess. Okay, and now I can also endurance. I think it's fine to do that. I'm just gonna wait. I can start spamming activations during their turn if I need to. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably just gonna see what they do. Okay, they're going to combat. Let's see if they attack with the borrower, and then I'll just flash in the endurance. Okay, they're just attacking with Beargoyf. So this is a 4/5. I think in the interest of ending the game, I'm going to attempt to cast this. Do they have a daze or a force? Okay, this is in. Let's go ahead and hit that. I don't think that changes anything here. Still 4/5. It's attacking me. Because it's Death Touch. Yeah. I think I just let it go. Because they're refilling their yard a little bit. It's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I don't think I played optimally here. They may be able to find something. Archon, they can return that to hand if they want. If they have Reanimate, it's actually really bad for us because we're so low in life. And I use my endurance, so suboptimally. Okay, good. They don't have Reanimate. And they opted not to put that into their hand. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot to spam activations. That was bad. Let's go ahead and start doing that here. I need to end this game. My opponent's 3 minutes ahead of me. Okay, we got a Wasteland there. I think we want to go ahead and try again just to We're looking for plow. Maybe we just want to put these halflings out. I don't know. That doesn't seem like a winning strategy, but they do provide chumpers. I feel like this deck is pretty bad at like actually ending the game. I am kind of worried that they might have a troll from hand. I'm going to go ahead and waste them. Okay. Now we'll go to combat. We'll swing with this. I think it's safe to do. Okay. Now that we're post-combat, I can do more stuff. I think it's fine to wait until their turn. Yeah, I mean, this is the longest game one I've had in a while. This Baragoyf has just been, like, they've stopped me from plowing so many times. Next turn, I'm going to attempt to plow again. Once I get that off the table, the game should be pretty close to end. If we can find Endurance number 3, we can emergency pitch cast Endurance. We have a blue card for Force. So we've got 2 looks here. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to chump. Okay, so this is Archon of Cruelty. We have to stop this. This is what I was talking about, where it would be really embarrassing if we lost. And it is totally possible that that happens. Okay. That doesn't help us. That doesn't help us either. Okay. They're going to get a trigger. Yeah, this is a nightmare. Man. I mean, like, it felt like we couldn't lose, but we're losing. We'll sacrifice this halfling. We'll discard a redundant Tamio, I guess. They're at 30 life. Right. There's plow number 1. Gain a bunch of life, please. Okay. And now, I think I'm just going to get the other plow back. Bye. Okay. And they scoop. I'm so glad they scooped. They did not have to scoop. That was a gentle person's scoop. Because, like, I was absolutely winning that game, but it could have taken forever. And they are 3 minutes ahead, almost. Okay. So against this deck, Cage comes in. I think that's it. Yeah, we're kind of pre-boarded against this deck because it is the top deck. So could take out Prismatic Ending. Just, I mean, they're going to have like cards like Baragoyf and stuff like that. Let's see. None of these cards are particularly... Well, Douthie, if they bring in Douthie against us, that may just be for the mirror. If they bring in more... I think I'm going to bring in more spot removal. I'm going to take out the Days. And they saw the Days. So they know it's in there. And I feel like... Yeah, I'm really not sure what to take out. I mean, like, Noble Hierarchs jump out at me as cards we could take out. Force was pretty important. I don't want to take that out. Teferi would be really good. They don't seem to have any Bowmasters in their 75. So that makes me really happy to play Teferi. I think we cut... Gosh, this is our part of our mana base. I don't like cutting that. We could cut some Tamio. Okay. I think I have to be decisive here. The cards that come to mind as cards I'd like to cut would probably just be Noble Hierarch, but those propel Endurance. So I don't think we cut any green sources. I mean, like, the conclusion I'm kind of coming to is just don't bring in the Prismatic Endings and then just roll. We don't have a ton of removal. That's definitely a weakness, but we can gum up the board as we did last game and then just eventually draw it and potentially recur it. I don't want to cut Tamios. This is a Endurance hand. I think I'm going to keep this. It has good mana. It has Plagon. It has the Plagon Nadu combo, the slowest Nadu in the world. But again, this is no bad cards Nadu. We're not playing bad cards like Core. We're not playing Greenstone Zenith. They've been a Reanimate. Interesting. So what do you want to bet they have in their a Reanimate in their grip right now? Let's throw this down. We'll pass. I'm just going to surveil. Our opponent can win very quickly. So there's no trying to time them out or anything. We just need to quickly try to close this game. I would hate to have to pitch cast Endurance, but I will do it to counter reanimation effect on something really dangerous. All right, and I am going to end-step surveil, and if they want to waste me, they can do that. Come at me, bruh. That is going to stay right on top of my library. I think they're going to waste here. Okay. Upkeep's a good time to waste too. Okay, or you could not waste. That is a strategy. I'm just going to chill. And what we would do is we would definitely pitch Nadu to Endurance so we can have that backup Endurance for later. My entire kind of strategy in this matchup is just to keep the graveyard clear of good reanimation targets, like trolls and stuff like that. Being able to get that out of their graveyard is worth it. They may be lower on mana, which maybe is why they're pondering so aggressively, and maybe that's why they been an otherwise insane card, Reanimate, one of the most powerful cards in Legacy. All right, they're once again opting not to waste us, which I will take. Wow. Yeah. I think we just chill. We've got Hardcast Endurance up, but they likely have a daze. I think this is a brainstorm moment. Bowmaster would be annoying if they did decide to add it to their 75. Okay, they're opting to waste. They gave us that information now, which is nice. They do have Bowmasters. It's going to resolve, unfortunately. And we knew that this was a risk, but we didn't see Bowmasters in their sideboard. Okay. So these Wastelands go back. I know that they're additional mana, but they're just not good enough. So we're going to take a hit here. I am going to shuffle. I think I'm going to get Savannah here, just as... So we have another white source and a green source. I think it's tempting to just plow this, but okay, it's swamp cycling. We're still a turn away from being able to endurance, unfortunately. So they could reanimate here, and we would just have to pitch cast. All right, they're coming for a hit. I'm just going to take it. I'm going to attempt to plow this instep. And then we have Plagon. All right, this is another must counter card, basically. We can't do a lot of what we want to do. Well, technically, actually, we can cast a lot of stuff. But I don't think we can win. They have their black. Okay. I think I'm going to attempt to force. I think I'm going to plow first here. I need to get that out of the way. Now, I'm going to attempt to force this. Pitching Nadu. Do they force back? Oh, they don't. Okay. They can reanimate it. Sadly, I think it's correct to just endurance them here. And then it's Plagon versus the world. We are running out of time. So that fizzles. All right. So we're going to Plagon. We got double Plagon. That's nice. So we can chump. We get 2 cards. Not sure really what we're drawing to. Forest is great. We do technically have Plow now. Yeah, because we stopped the thing. So we could just take a hit and then double block it next turn. I think I'm going to do that. I guess I'll just block. Yeah, it was an error of mine to tap out a white last time. Yeah, okay. So now we have to kill 2 things. Okay. So I'm going to start by plowing here. I could have Plagued first. Let's go ahead and play a halfling here. Then we're going to draw 3 cards. This card is so cracked. Okay, these are good cards. Next turn we can start going to Nadu Town. I'll just take the 4. Once we get Nadu out, we can easily double block this thing. I think we're going to draw so many cards, though, that it's not going to matter. At least that's what I like to think. We have 2 more plows left in the deck. We have 2 Teferi as well, which cleanly answer this. That would be the best top deck in the deck. Can you imagine Teferi uncounterable, draw a card? I am worried now that they've shown me Bowmaster, and we did shuffle it back in. So they've got 4 Bowmasters they're looking at potentially in there. Between the 6 cards they're looking at now and the other ones, the other 44. Thoughtseize is fine. They can take my Nadu. Okay, are they going to cast something like another Barrowgoyf maybe? They're starting to run out of cards. This is where like the card advantage is helping us pick up. All right, let's see if we can find a Teferi. I'm going to ponder just in case this is Bowmaster. This is a shuffle. I mean, these cards are insane, but this has got to be a shuffle. Okay, that's good. Let's try again at the Teferi. We got 2 Teferis. Come on. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think the game's probably over now. And this, I wouldn't be surprised if they scoop here. I don't know why that's gray. That's weird. There's like some visual bug on that. Okay, and then yeah, we can actually also cast this Tamio, which is pretty badass. And I will, even though this is a family-friendly channel, sometimes they say, my rule is, damn, an ass are in the Bible, so you can say those, even on family-friendly things. Maybe that's not a good rule to go by. It's a 2,000-year-old rule. Okay. I mean, our opponent could troll here. That would be something strong they could do. They have 6 mana. That's fine. I'll be embarrassed if we lose from this position. Okay. I mean, that is an attacker. All right, so let's go ahead and plus here. I'm trying to play as fast as possible. I got 4 minutes on the clock. That my opponent has 22 life. All right, these are bad. We want to shuffle them away. Yes, I shuffle the brainstorm away. I'll take that. I'm going to brainstorm again. Just looking for like an endurance or something. Force is not bad. Hierarch is fine. I don't want a legend roll Plagon yet. I think I just tempted to play out the. I think I kind of have to play this out to chump, unfortunately. But I can use the ability to kill Brazen Borrower. Yeah, I'll just do that. When they attack, if they attack, I'll make this trade with Brazen Borrower. They have Bowmaster. We're so screwed. Wasteland. We're gonna go white. Boom, boom. You're welcome to swing in at my Teferi. I think I misplayed because I could have tapped differently, and I didn't even use these halflings. So now our opponent shouldn't attack. It would be probably a bad attack. They could do it. We've got Plagon on the top, I think. Entomb's fine. I'm going to start hitting him. Plus. So, yeah, I think I'm fine with going ahead and just going to combat here. Is that what we want to do? No. I'm going to do it like that. Just go ahead and target that. Okay. And then I guess we also have to do it this your way. I'm starting to question whether this was correct. I do want to get them dead. So many clicks to activate Plagon. I hope they simplify that somehow in MTGO. They're taking the 6. Okay, now we're going to brainstorm. We'll flip Tamio. We found a Nadu, which we can cast. So I'll just put back Noble Hierarch and Plagon, I guess. All right, this is coming down to the wire. All right, we no longer have mana to really do... Oh, wait. We can activate this and we can get a force if we need to. Because I've got a blue card on top. Okay, so we have force. I think I'm just going to attack like 3 times. Go ahead and flip his power and toughness. So he'll do 5 damage now. Plus, well, oh, I could have freaking Teferi'd. That was dumb. We've got Force of Will up. We've got lots of action here. I just need to do what I did like 2 more turns in a row, I think. Fetching, making my job a little easier. Let's just go ahead and counter this. Okay. I think we just allow here to get this out of the way. White. Bye-bye. Go to combat. Fairy plus. Pass. Just need to swing like 2 more turns. We just force whatever they do. 29 seconds. This is intense. My finger on the Force of Will button. They said GG. That was freaking grindy as heck. They haven't conceded. Okay, they have. That was grindy as heck. Yeah, and again, compliments to the Rumbling Lavamancer for scooping game 2. I would not have time to finish. I'm going to get faster playing this deck, but I mean, like both of these matches have been like the full 50-minute thing. See you in round 3. All right. We're up against Bob Pie. I love your name. I don't love the fact that you are a Necrodominance player. Yeah, we're going to mulligan this. We're going to mulligan this as well. Unfortunately, Endurance is not a meaningful game piece against them, unlike Oops. And I am going to mulligan good hands, assuming our opponent is on combo. They've been playing Necrodominance. I mean, this was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And in Legacy, what are they? Burn? They could be on Burn. That would be scary. Burn would just smoke us. All right, let's try this. All right, this is a keep. So here's my assumption. We are going to need both of these forces. We're going to need the blue cards. We're going to need a way to close the game, which is Nadu. Teferi makes it so they can't win, actually, if it resolves. So I think it's worth keeping instead of Nadu. Done. So now we're just going to surveil. And if they're not on Necrodominance combo, we're going to have paid a steep price for the precaution. It looks like they're on something unfair. Well, this Thoughtseize is going to resolve. Do they also have a card that can stop what we're going to do? Okay, they took the Tamio, and they're passing. So I'll surveil. I don't think this is meaningful. I could be completely wrong, but we don't have a green card anyway. Ponder's a good card. And I think we go ahead and take the risk. Okay, this is great. So what we'll do is we are getting closer to Nadu. I think we want to do Brainstorm last. Tundra and Nadu would be a pitch at this point. But we can't play the land. We need to have double force up just in case. All right? You're not going to run us out of blue cards. Might as well start taking forces. They disagree. Okay. Well, now it's true. Our cards are face up. I guess actually it was probably a mistake to play the card there. We didn't have anything to do with it. Now they know that they only have to beat one force. So I think that was a punt on our part. Yep. And maybe that's because they had the Durst. That's why they were taking the non-creature cards. Or the creature cards. Right. Options. One, we could just chill and do nothing. Other option, we could brainstorm and maybe find a freaking wasteland. How good would that be? They're clearly, okay. Yeah, that simplifies it. And then we'll shuffle this away. So this is great. Yeah, and these decks, like denying the mana is always worth doing, in my opinion. They've still got a scary 6 cards in their grip. We don't have any way to recoup cards yet, but eventually we will get an engine going. Play this out. We'll just shuffle it away later. And then we're looking for Teferi. We're looking for anything that can go 2 for 1. We're not looking for Plow, so let's go ahead and shuffle that away. Man, last game was so intense. The previous match, if you haven't watched it, you should watch it. I'm going to hold this in a hand just because this represents Brainstorm equity, and there's no point in playing the Wasteland. They're still going to get the mana out of the land. They're at 13. They've done a lot of damage to themselves. So something like a Nadu could close pretty quickly if we find it. They may be going off here. No, they just don't want to discard. Cabal Ritual. Okay, that resolves. There's the Thoughtseize. Okay, so I think we probably lost, unfortunately. This is just how these matches go. Like, you mold a 5, you do everything right, and sometimes they can slip your grip. Yep. Oh, they don't have the Spirit Guide. They don't have the land. So if we can find a Plow, we can get rid of this. Well, I guess we play with the Halfling. And there's a decent chance they don't draw land immediately. This does, like if we draw the Starfish, this is really good. Having that out. I don't think there are any lands in their deck that like we can waste with something on the stack. It's not like Urza Saga type lands. We're getting lucky. Fine, you can hit us. Yeah, I mean, now we have Force Hardcast. Yeah, I think it's better to hold up Hardcast Forced. Just in case they find like a Chrome Mox or something. Yeah, they found it. So the game's over. Let's take a look at their deck. I didn't know they'd be on Oops because they played Necrodominance, but they're on Oops. Very similar deck. All 4 Narco moves. Okay, let's take a look at the cards that they just dumped in their yard. 1 Cabal Therapy. They already know about the Force in our hand. Thassa's Oracle's in here. Is Dread Return in here? Yes. I'm going to let them proceed just to make sure they don't screw up somehow. I don't see anything abnormal other than that they're playing like a larger than normal. Let's see, where's the Memory's Journey? Memory's Journey's in there. They're playing a larger number than normal of, like they're playing kind of like it looks like an older version of the deck is kind of what I'm thinking. They're therapying me. That's fine. They already know what our hand is. We're not giving them really any additional information. They do name Force. Okay. So yeah, like if we'd held Endurance, we could have Endurance here. The deck's Necrodominance is very similar. Yeah. Good game. All right. So we do have lots of options against this deck. First of all, Gravedigger's Cage is quite good. Force Negations are quite good. Consign is not it's not terrible. Let's see what doesn't matter. I don't think Plow matters. It would have mattered specifically in that situation just because they didn't have the mana to immediately use it. I think we could take up Plagon just because it's very slow and it doesn't really do a lot. Like it's a slow engine. It does draw us a lot of cards. It's blue. The thing is, like, we want green cards for Endurance. We want blue cards for Force. This is probably one of the matchups where we take out the basic Forest. And then that gives us room for 2 consigns. I don't think Force of Vigor is great, although Force of Vigor, if they bring in exactly, what's it called? Leyline of Sanctity, that can be good there. I think 2 consigns is fine because we can stop like certain triggers. Like the Thassa's Oracle trigger. It's not really strong because usually they've Cabal Therapied you by that time. A lot of times they'll juke into playing the what's it called? The Goblin Charbelcher, and Consign can stop that. Consign can stop some trigger. It's a blue card for Force. It's not the worst card. I'm not gonna hope that we find turn 1 interaction. I'm gonna mulligan this. Otherwise, stellar hand. And this is fine. So I'm just gonna put back the Endurance. We're going to max out on blue cards, and we can even play Artomio and start heading to Clue Town. It's just like the board game. Everybody smokes pipes and wears these weird felty hats. Okay. Let's get the Trop. That's more important for, well, yeah, I think we can worry about Teferi later. He's most likely going to get pitched. I think what we do is we probably just hold the forces, and as soon as we get another blue card, we can brainstorm Artomio. Actually, we might be able to brainstorm Artomio, but we do risk going off double Force if we do that. Okay, they're going to go for it. Dark Writ. Duras. Okay, you got one of our interaction spells. Took the Brainstorm. The fact that they haven't scooped yet means they can beat one Brainstorm. They're letting the mana burn off? Okay. I guess they couldn't beat a Brainstorm. That's crazy. All right, so this represents a clue, so I am going to go ahead and play that out, and then we're going to hope that the card that we rip is a blue card. 5 cards in our opponent's hand. They're not doing anything here. Let's go ahead and crack our clue. All right, and this is where we like to be. And we got lucky, and we took a Discipline mulligan, and we were rewarded with double Force of Will. I don't think Teferi really does a lot here. I think it's better in our hand. We could flip Tomio here. Or we could wait another turn. I think we wait another turn. Get another clue. Because we're Howling Mining ourselves. Let's see, if we flip her, we draw a card, and then we also ponder. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and flip her. I think I convinced myself. Okay, so Consign is good. A backup Tomio is fine. So now we've got a flip Tomio, and we'll have another active Tomio next turn. And we have our double Forces. And next turn we'll also have Consign up. So I'm feeling pretty good. Okay. Opponent thought for a while and decided to pass. I think we go ahead and we play this out. And we just plus and we chill. Actually, yeah, we do have Teferi. Let's see, Teferi can do stuff that might be relevant. I think it's worth playing Teferi out. We still have a blue source that we can fetch off this wind sub. We have a second Trop. Okay, just another Brainstorm. No big deal. Nothing to see here. It's like Naked Gun. He's in front of the fireworks factory that's like blowing up, and people are like jumping out of the building and stuff. And he's like, nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Move along. Nothing to see here. Just this insane anti-oops hand. I've lost against oops with a hand like this before. It was absolutely humiliating. Pokemoki was on the call too, which just made it even more like both of us were just like, what the hell happened? But Oops is a very powerful deck. Okay, so let's jump over to the final round, final match, final game. Consign, yeah, I think it stays in. This is going to be the hard one because I guess it's not as hard as the first round, but it'll still be hard. Yeah, I don't think we make any substitutions. Let's go. I will keep this 7. That is a good 7 right there. So we have Surveil Land, we have Force, we have Daze for if they don't go off immediately. If they have Protected turn 1, there's nothing we can do. They're keeping with 7. I'm not going to go any deeper. You sometimes do need 2 forms of interaction. I mean, that's just how the deck rolls. They're going for something here. They should always assume that we have interaction, but they don't know how much interaction. Okay, they've got a lot of fast mana. LED. This is the juke into, what's it called? Yeah, and this is the Dream Crusher. I do not regret anything. It's going to be hard for them to rebuild from that. Yep. Does not feel bad beating Oops All Spells. That deck is a bully in the format. Let's go to round 4. All right. We are in round 4. We are 3-0. We have not lost a single match, though 2 of them nearly were lost due to time. Our opponent could be playing Burn, which they played a long time ago, or Prison or something like that. Anything. So I think this is fine hand. This gets both of our basics if they're a Moon Stompy. We just have to hope they don't have the turn 1 Blood Moon. But you don't throw back hands like this with this deck. And by the way, how nice is this hand? Like, all these cards are reasonably castable. This one's free. And we just have a lot of stuff we can do right off the jump. So I'm feeling great. Like, I love this deck. This is tight. This is definitely giving blue-black control, Kaito control, a run for its money. Is the most fun deck to play. I love drawing cards. I love value creatures and tiny little planeswalkers. I'm really loving Legacy in 2025, and the Starfish is a great arrival. All right, Bloodstained Mire. That is often associated with goblins, red-black Reanimator, mono-black aggro. This could be a Bowmasters. I think we get the Hierarch down because getting Nadu down is pretty powerful. It will be hitting for 4, and it makes targeting our stuff verboten. I'm going to fetch a basic here. No, wait. I can't fetch a basic because then I don't get days. I'm going to get Underground Sea. Or Muscle Memory. I'm going to get a Tropical Island. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely argue that I should ramp out of Tamia there, but I'm just so excited to get this new toy out there. My Nadu. The card that could totally be fair. Like, I wouldn't mind if they just banned Shuko and Nomad Encore and the other. They don't even have to ban the 2-mana thing. The 2-mana thing sucks. But if they banned Nomad Encore and Shuko instead and left Nadu legal, I'd be okay with that. Okay, I think we're about to get our faces reanimated off, unfortunately. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure and an honor. My cat just opened the door and made the volume really high in here. I can hear my kids really loud. My silly little kitty just barges in whenever she wants. She knows how to like open doors. She can like reach under with her little murder mitt and like crack open doors and stuff. Okay, my opponent seems to be stalled out, but they are likely on reanimate. So, gosh, I think we'd ponder for some sort of interaction here, like a force of will, an endurance. Okay, yeah. Now we're gonna definitely need to find an endurance. Plow might be good enough. I mean, my instinct is to... Oh, Gristlebrand? Never mind. We're going to shuffle this. Okay, well, I hate to say it, but we're probably dead. We're probably about to get Endurance. I think I'll Surveil, and I will just go ahead and play this Tamio. I don't think hitting them for 1 makes a difference. All right. Yeah, it sucks that... Like, if maybe they have a 2-mana reanimation spell. Nope. This is how, until they ban Entomb, which, it was banned for many years, until they choose to ban Entomb, we just have to deal with opponents who have literally 1 mana source, just winning the game with their combo. And this coming into play, there's nothing you can do. They're going to draw so many cards. Like, we could do the math, but you could probably simulate legacy games in like a supercomputer. And just like they did against Gary Kasparov, Deep Blue. And I would be willing to bet that the games where like a Gristlebrand resolves on an otherwise empty board, and they can't immediately interact with that Gristlebrand, like even plowing it, okay, you plow my Gristlebrand, I'll draw 14 cards. I think that puts you so far ahead that you're like 9% to win, maybe just 99% to win. But it makes a huge, like, it makes it very difficult to come back. So I don't even bother playing those out. Like, I guess I could get more information about my opponent's deck, but I think they're probably just playing a relatively vanilla-looking Reanimator deck. Sometimes they play green as a sideboard juke. We can preserve the element of surprise here. I don't think Prismatic Ending comes in. This is one of those matchups where we can pull the forest, probably. They had the green-black land, so I think they're most likely on that juke. With the the bad juke that people keep playing, even though it's terrible, where you like discard your own hand and then you target your opponent and hope that like after you've discarded your hand that they don't have a force. I can't remember what the card is called. Sink into Stupor. A thematically appropriate card name. I mean, we could cut a Plagon and an Nadu. Those are like mid-game. No, we're never cutting Nadu because it's green. We need green. I'm keeping Daze in because Daze would have been good the last game. Maybe, yeah, I think probably cutting a Plagon is fine because Tamio is much more valuable than Plagon because she comes out early and I don't want to cut any green cards. All right. This has to go back. As insane as this hand is, it does not beat turn 2 Gristlebrand or even turn 1 Gristlebrand with Protect. Nor does this hand. This hand does. We're going to keep. I'm tempted to put both of these back. They could start with the other card. If they go with the Sink into Stupor combo, Plow is pretty good because you just remove the thing, and then Sink into Stupor itself is like a bad Hymn to Torok. Hymn to Torok's not a legacy playable card. Not unfortunately. I have like 40 of them. I love the card. I don't think it's legacy playable. And we could put back Nadu, I guess. Yeah. All right. But that is going to suck if, like, we draw an Endurance and suddenly we don't have a green card. All right. Bloodstained Mire for a basic swamp. Dark Ritual. This is the Thoughtseize. Okay. And you can never, like, hide the force. And this is the Entomb. Another Dark Ritual. Okay. This is the Entomb. Well, if we can stop this chain, then we stopped everything. They've still got 3 cards. If they don't have a monster, it doesn't matter how many redundant reanimation effects, I am going to go ahead and just YOLO Brainstorm. See if I can hit one of my force effects. Grab this Tundra here. Not meant to be. Yeah, we are losing this one. Endurance. Or Gristlebrand. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping we would be able to get a trophy. If they make the mistake of getting something else, no, they got the right one, Gristlebrand. And now, I'll just show you how disgusting this is when it works. Like, again, I want to remind you, we mulliganed, we had force. This is turn 1 with protection, drawing a bunch of cards. They're not done. And by the way, if we just kept the mana open and plowed this, they would have just gained another, yeah. And now they just continue shredding our hand. And they still haven't drawn 7 cards, and they're going to, yeah, it's just disgusting. Ban and Tomb is all I have to say. I really am sick of playing against. I've always thought it was overpowered. Okay, let's go into round 5. Final round, we're up against the 4th Olsen sister, me Olsen. And I have absolutely no idea what they're playing. They historically have always played either Mystic Forge or Coveted Jewel combo. So we can assume it's probably some sort of big mana strategy. This would be an exceptional hand against a non-combo deck. We're on the play. You know, I think I'm just going to... Am I crazy for just like Island Pondering here? Trying to find a force? I mean, the rest of this hand is great. It's got all our mana. It does have a Meticulous... Okay, it has Meticulous Archive. I think this is a mulligan, actually, the more I look at it. We have to figure out a way to get rid of the Meticulous Archive. This hand's actually better than the previous one. There's a very small chance that our opponent is on Moonstompy or something like that. It doesn't cost us a lot with our Mono Blue hand to just put this back. And I think what I'll do is I'll just start by pondering here. And we're looking for Mana Dorks. The more Mana Dorks we have when we cast Planet Dork, the better. Plagon, the better. In fact, like the next build of this, I was already thinking about this when I was eating lunch earlier. Chancellor of the Annex. Oh no. Chancellor of the Annex? Well, that is bad news. That means we're up against some crazy combo deck. So I think what we have to do is just play this out and scare them into playing slowly. So sometimes they have Chancellor of the Annex and it's just a brick in their hand and you just wait a turn and you play around it. Chrome Mox. Probably imprints the Chancellor. What is... Oh. Cabal Ritual? They need black. I want you to do a thought experiment. Imagine that you are trying to play Green-White Depths. You're trying to play Death and Taxes. You're trying to play just a traditional mud type deck. You're trying to play any deck that doesn't have 4 Force of Wills and like an additional 2 Force of Negations in the sideboard in 2025. Oh, this really this. Yeah, I'm not going to show them any information. I already shown them enough. We're just going to see if they hit their fill rate. Sometimes they do. I'll check back in. Okay, how it started, how it's going. We're getting tendrils. I can concede here. They didn't really show a lot of information. Just a bunch of spirit guides and stuff. They still had 10 cards in their hand. They didn't have to do the Born Upon or they did Born Upon a Wind. They didn't have to do the thing where they kind of like discard half their hands. Like the Winds of Change. Land. Multi-faced land. Okay. So this is pretty easy to bring these in. Force Negation comes in. Consign is pretty terrible. But it is like a kind of like a Time Walk type effect. Because you can consign the trigger. Gosh, I don't think Consign is a particularly strong card. But like they are like the true turn 1 combo. Like they have no backup plan. They just, this is how they win, They might have a juke. Let's take a look at... okay, so Turbo Necro. Let's just take a look at these recent ones. See whether there's like some sideboard juke. Some Mad Lad was trying to play a fair game. I don't think that's going to work out for them. Most commonly, though, they have just more Durases and ley lines and stuff like that. Veils. I don't see any creatures coming in or anything like that. So we're going to assume that they're not on the juke into Baragoi from Prey strategy here. Hydro is not blank cardboard. I think Harbinger can come in. We can take out all our green cards. Take out our basic forest. I don't think we need to go that far. Because I do want to make sure we can actually cast our spells. Oh, Force of Vigor, not a very good card when you don't have any green cards, huh? I don't think it's that great of a card. Like, I think we're better off without it. I think I will bring in some Noble Hierarchs, though. So they speed up our clock, and they can actually be used to cast spells. So our deck's almost completely blue. Yep, let's try to stop them. We'll see whether they're on some crazy build. I mean, a lot of people abandon this deck because it's just not very consistent. Let's mulligan this. Typical Legacy experience, just sitting here, mulliganing, waiting to see whether our opponent also mulligans. They started with 7 cards in hand. Meanwhile, we're mulliganing because we have to respect the possibility of a turn 1. Okay, we found a forest. I think we have to stop. Put back a forest. Put back in... We have to put back 2 more. I'll keep the Noble Hierarch so I can at least have something going on. Like, as pathetic as it is, beating them turn after turn with Misty. Okay, they didn't reveal the thing at this turn. I am going to go ahead and get this on the table. Just because Plagon does draw us cards. If we top a deck of land, we can refill. Get a trop. All right, and our opponent has to assume the last 2 cards are Force Blue card because only a crazy person wouldn't do that. So they just Thoughtseize us and then they combo. But like our mulligans weren't particularly kind. Okay. Oh, okay, good. We're getting a turn. Okay, Nadu's not terrible. Just attack for 1. Pathetic. But that's all we can do. And I will pitch Nadu rather than pitching Plagon. Plagon has more like shelf life. Then I have 2 mana. This could be... Oh, Cabal Ritual. Fine. They're probably just going to pact us. So my instinct is to not counter this because we're also going to be able to... We're going to be able to counter... They're getting a card out of their deck. We counter that and then we don't have to deal with it later. But they could get like some other card. But it's almost certainly going to be Necrodominance. Okay. So now we counter the Necrodominance. They're going to pact. And then we just see whether they can win off of the cards they get. Yeah, pact. All right. It is as written. Let's see what happens here. This is a disappointing end to the league, though. Just like having to play against these 2 turn 0 combo decks in a row. I hope I'm not like speaking out of line as a creator, but I think I wouldn't mind if Pact of Negation were not in the meta because it's only used for degenerate strategies. It's only used to basically stop Force of Will decks from being able to stop them. Even though historically, like the old Belcher decks before Pact was printed and stuff, you just kind of like hope that you didn't come up against a Force of Will deck, and it was kind of rock, paper, scissors thing. And you accepted that as kind of a term. Those were like the rules of engagement. But now you can have 6 forces in your 75, and you can have all this stuff, and you can be very disciplined in your mulligans, and you can still just lose. So it is frustrating, is all I'm saying. All right, our opponent has Volkult's Awakening, and they've moved around some cards, 12 cards. So I have to presume that they found what they needed. Here's Born Upon a Wind after this Manamorphose. And then they'll just let everything ride and tendrils us. They have Lethal Storm now. So this is like one of those things where we'd be better off if we were playing Thoughtseize. And I almost like feel like you have to play blue-black right now because of the... Yeah, this is death. They would have just stopped going if they didn't have a path to tendrils here. You kind of need to play blue-black because you can only play 2 colors because of Sowing Mycospawn and because Delver and Days Wasteland Shell. So those colors really have to be blue and black if you want to play control. Like that is kind of the vibe I get from playing a lot of leagues. And a lot of people might be like, oh, well, it's not like that in paper. Well, frankly, paper is not nearly as competitive as leagues. You're much more like the players and the caliber of play. A lot of these people like play as much as I do. So it's going to be a very, you're going to encounter this constantly, as you can see from the videos I publish. So just be ready. Like, I love playing this deck. I think this deck is so fun. We got a positive record, but it is frustrating that you can come as prepared as a blue deck can really expect to come. Okay. Maybe we can be more prepared. Let's talk about that. How often do these prismatic endings come in? Not very often. Here is my thinking. I'm going to show you the deck that I'm going to play in the next league. I bring you Beach 3. Okay, so the strategy is the same. We've still got Plagon, and we've got more Mana Dorks, because I'm like, Mana Dorks are so good with Plagon that we should just go all the way up. I think we should play all 8. And we cut a land, and then we just cut the Wastelands, and then we just hope that they don't have Urza Sagas or that we can miraculously work through them. But I definitely see why control players don't like playing Wasteland, because it feels clunky when you're playing a 3-color deck to be playing Wasteland. What we can do is we can play 1 fewer land, but we can play a Karakas potentially. And so we still have, I think, 15 green sources, 15 blue sources, 16? I think we have 16 of each. And then we have the Karakas as our sole, like, non-color, like off-color mana. And that, of course, is not technically off-color because we do have Plow and we do have Teferi. And then we go up to 3 Teferi because Teferi has been amazing, felt amazing. Our opponents, like, if we have a Teferi in our hand, we can just let it die. It pitches to force. Teferi seems pretty solid. So this simplifies the deck. Like, if you look, almost everything's a 4 of here, except for Endurance and Teferi. I mean, it feels very simple, but the goal is very simple. We resolve a bunch of Mana Dorks. We resolve Plagon. We draw a bunch of cards. Eventually, we get Nadu. We use Nadu to draw cards as well. We beat down with Endurance. Plagon, I mean, often attacking for 5 in that previous league that we just played. Or Nadu. Yeah. So I think that's good. And then this is what I meant about just crushing combo decks. Like, man, screw combo. I'm done. I'm playing all 4 Forces Negation. Like, I own these. These are expensive on MTGO. I bought them because I was playing Yorian strategies where you have to have, enough. You have to have extra forces. But, like, if we're going to be playing against freaking 3 back-to-back, glass cannon combo decks, I want to bring in more forces. So I don't have to mulligan as aggressively. Like, you still will have to mulligan. Okay, let's do some math real quick. Math time. Okay, so everybody knows that if you have 4, forces in your deck, you've got a 39.9% chance of finding it, right? 40%, right? And that's each 7 card hand that you could see, and you can see a lot with the London Mulligan. But what if you have 8? 65. Not quite the jump that we would hope for, but it does mean they're probably only going to need a mulligan like once or twice to reliably find a force effect. And considering that Force of Negation is not as good against Upsell spells, but it's okay because it can't actually stop the actual creature at the end of the chain, but you can stop like the Dark Ritual or something. it can keep you alive for a turn cycle is what I'm saying. So yeah, I think if we go up to that, and then we just, take, I'm not going to go down on anti Moonstompy. I do respect Moonstompy. I think we need 3 Hydroblasts, especially because we're not playing Brazen Borrower. Like, our only way to deal with Blood Moon is through a Hydroblast or having enough Mana Dorks and happening to find our green source and to deploy them. That's another reason I kind of want to go up to 4 Noble Hierarch is I can imagine lots of situations where we really do need white, or we need a second green, and we're under a Blood Moon, or we're under an opponent's Harbinger of the Seas or something like that, or our own Harbinger of the Seas. So that's good. I still want to keep the Force of Vigor. I still think it's likely good. I still think we have the green. We actually went up a green card, so slightly better support for it. And then the Grafdigger's Cage is always a good one of, considering we use our graveyard for nothing. And a lot of you in the chat might be like, we want to put an Uro in there. Like, I think we've got enough value, and the key is to have creatures all be greater power or greater toughness than power. So Karakas, my argument is every single creature in here, other than the Mana Dorks and the Endurance, really just like the Tamio, the Nadu, and the Plagon are legendary. And can you imagine casting a Plague and drawing 3 cards, and then your opponent doesn't have really anything going on because you got like a fistful of forces and plows, and you're just like, end step, I'm going to bounce my Plagon and I'm going to uncounterably cast him again and draw another 3 cards. Like, that is a powerful engine right there, right? And this Karakas is good against opposing Tamios. So obviously, we encounter a lot of Merit Lage. We encounter that in round 1 against lands. So yeah, I think we're going to run with this. And it is scary going without Wasteland. It's very scary going without Thoughtseize. We're going to do our best. So that will be the next video. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.